Hello, everyone. This is Travis Straw with Hemingway Hobart Straw right here next to me. Yeah. Hi. With our first ever collab. I know that me and Hemi were in a few podcasts before, but he was just a tiny baby. And now he's a grown man at 10 months old, right? Right? Yeah. He just wants to touch everything. So be prepared to hear, like, oh, hey. Don't. He's trying to pull my microphone. So I've been releasing a lot of former pods I've done, podcast or whatever you call them, episodes of, I don't know if you know this, but I've been recording myself pretty much my entire life. And that means, like even before YouTube, uh, me, my brothers, and everyone, we went out and made little movies. We did in-camera editing with my dad's like handy cam back in the day before mini DV tapes and any reason to do it at all. Like we just were like, hey, let's do this. Our primary like frameworks were like cops for some reason. We just made these hilarious cop style videos, those kung fu videos where the person behind the camera would like do the voice for the person moving their lips so it looked like not synced, as dubbed kung fu movies have been known to look like. What's the update? All right, I've been releasing a lot of Memory Meat episodes, a lot of Honesty Straw episodes. This is the first like actual up to date 2026, almost August podcast. So welcome to Frantic Purpose 2026. I have been working primarily on, and everyone's going to hate me for it, but the cool thing about not caring about what anyone thinks is like, I don't care what anyone thinks. So, AI, have you heard of it? Yeah. What's crazy in the last podcasts of Memory Meat, I actually talk about it back in 2018. So, I was a little in front of the ball there. So good job, me. Pats on the back. And if you didn't know, I actually I've been making music my whole life too. So across the board, if you're just showing up, I am primarily an artist, a visual artist. I have played in bands, I have played shows, I have gone on tour, I have played overseas. My art has been in gallery shows. I have a mural in San Francisco. The list goes on and on and on. It means nothing, but I mean, to me, their goals achieved. That's all that matters. I'm a crazy person. So, with this arrival of kind of the ability to make AI music, I'm like, what? It's probably trash. And for the most part, you could automatically hear what is trash about AI. It sucks. But I'm like, in January of 2026, I'm sitting here with Amanda and kind of I'm like I'm going to go ahead and see I wrote two songs in the theme of kind of like Irish folk music, which I really enjoy. And I love the whole feel of it. One's called Ol' Lass and the other one's called Power of the Pint. And I've decided I'm just going to sign up for a Suno account, which is one of the few platforms where you can generate AI instrumentals and performances. So I generate these things, and I'm all like come to tears. It's the first time I've heard a song to the level of production that I've wanted, and I'm pretty meticulous with how I did what in Suno, the prompt, they would call it prompt engineering, and also the styles I wanted. You could get really granular with how you want your vocals to sound and your instrumentals to sound. So I was like, wow. So Suno for like a whole year, I think is like $400. And that's 10,000 tokens a month. And in my mind, I'm like, oh my God. And in that moment, I'm like, Amanda, I think I'm going to start just writing music and essentially seeing if I could make it a good song with AI. Because unbeknownst to everybody else, I usually adopt technology fast. throughout my life, digital editing of photography, which was like, if you do that, you're not a photographer. There's a whole legacy of you're not an artist if you do XYZ. That comes from like way back in the day. The painters, when photography came around, they're like, that's not art. It'll never be art. It'll never be anything. And then from that to like print media, like printers, like, or digital media, or like, from going from a dark room to editing your photos on a computer, editing your videos in a computer, shooting your videos not on film but digital. We've gone through this a whole bunch of million times. So everybody and their mom, like, it doesn't even matter if they were ever creative at all, they're all like complaining about AI, and if you use AI, you're not an artist. And a part of me is like, sure, as I write these songs, right, I see myself as a producer. If you know, of the famous producer Rick Rubin, incredible talent, but the funny thing is he has no musical talent, right? He's like this epic, well-known producer for music. He's produced some of the best albums that we all know and love, and he himself admits to having no musical talent at all. He essentially like vibe codes music and gets people where they need to be. It's a lot more spiritual than anything. And I'm saying, so like in a way, Rick Rubin is using other bands as AI, except, he has the ability to be like, that sounds a little too hard. Like, he doesn't even use musical terms. He uses spiritual, like, kind of hoodoo voodoo terms, chilling out with his long beard and gray hair in his minimalist mansion, Shangri-La. What am I trying to say? So now, not only is it, the easiest it's ever been to record, produce, and distribute a song, right? You could even master it if you have the skills. Well, you could you could go online, and this is kind of like slower AI, right? So if I wanted to make a music and I had no musical talent, I do have musical talent, but this is just like an example. So someone back before AI, not too long ago, was like, I want to make a song. He could go on Fiverr and hire a guitarist to make him a 3-minute instrumental. And he could take that acoustic guitar and use it as a framework for a drummer, pay that guy on Fiverr. Basically, a bunch of people who are working for like, maybe they'll get $40 to make this music for this guy. And then here's this guy with no musical talent who now has a bass, a guitar, and a drum line, right? You have like these 3 layers. Cool, he has them, but he doesn't even know how to edit it, right? So he sends it to a sound engineer. That sound engineer would be like, cool, yeah, puts it together, it's all aligned, it sounds right, awesome. And even if this guy wanted to go crazier and pay a little bit more money, he'd go and pay a masterer, someone who makes it really sound good, to go ahead and master that song. So by the end of that, even though he himself never carried or played an instrument, nor could he have ever done that, he now has a viable song. Who's going to sing on it? What's it going to be about? So guess what he does? He pays other people to do those things, to write the song and to perform it. So you may be thinking, Travis, that's crazy. Who did that? Literally everybody in the world who is a musician does this, including the ones that we know and love. Taylor Swift, none of her songs are just her. I know this is insane to hear. I've said it my whole life. None of their songs are just them. It is very rare that there's a true singer-songwriter that actually is out here producing, writing, and doing all of that themselves. There's usually a whole team. What's your point? My point is that now for $400, you could make infinite songs, right? 10,000 tokens is a lot, especially in Suno. This music sounds great. And if you prompt engineer it enough, it will fool everyone. It does not sound like AI. And I'm like, okay, the goal for 2026, at least the first half of it, right? It's going to be, can I make a great song or a million great songs and put them out there and get more monthly listeners? Basically, see if I could use this as a jump off point to, I love writing music. I love it to death. I have my little guitar over here by me, and Hemingway's he's thinking about touching the screen. Um, I I have my Taylor acoustic guitar that I plink around. I write lyrics. I'll play and write songs. And fundamentally, um, it's a very very enjoyable thing for me. I do not have the skill to put a song to master a song or to to master it to. I could do sound engineering to a certain extent, but it's not professional quality. I'll tell you off the bat. I do not have that. I don't have the resources. But now I can. So now I play producer. I am the record producer, just like Rick Rubin. Except I have musical talent and also know what I want from the song, and I conceptually build albums and all these things I've been doing in my whole life. So now I have this incredible tool to do that altogether. Hemingway just almost fell off the couch again. Yeah. So I'm like, okay, so I don't care. Everyone else is gonna hate on me because that's what like the normies do when new technologies exist. When photography and everything came about. Okay, so essentially that's what I did. I decided that since I am a prolific songwriter and I am decisive, that I believe I can create enough songs to have one release every week. Long story short, I have done that. I have enough songs to schedule well into next year. How's it been going? I love these songs. Like, if you go to my Spotify right now, you can listen for yourself, make your own judgments. I am not biased because I am incredibly critical of my music. And the music that I released before, even though it didn't sound like a studio quality song, it was in its soul a very meaningful song for me, right? Because that's what really matters to me. That's what really matters to most people, is that music, wherever it comes from, resonates within the listeners. And at the beginning of the year, I think I had like 4 monthly listeners. What do I have now? I think it's like a little over 5,000. So, am I making the big bucks? No. Does it matter? No. I have had an incredible time. I have written and also generated a lot of songs, all of which I believe are to my quality. My barrier for, is this good? I believe yes. So it's very cool. For the last month or so, month and a half, I haven't produced many because I feel mostly complete, and I might continue later. But other things have kind of taken the reins. I'm feeling like, as there is with my artistic soul, I shift from one thing to the next. What is most important to me? Where do I want to put my creative energy? It always shifts, but spending time with this and hearing these songs come to fruition and sound so good, and not even tell anyone, right? Like, other than my Instagram, like, I didn't tell my parents, I didn't tell my family in general. Of course, Amanda knew, and then I just let people like kind of find it out on their own. And eventually, my parents found them and were all like, "Hey, what is this?" And I told them the whole thing, and they were very complimentary. And I'm like, "That's great," because I just want to make great music, and I admit to not having the resources to do it the way that the industry standard would say. But like, if there's a technology and I could pay $400 and it sounds good and it's up to my par and all of that stuff, cool. Will it ever be something more than a good song? I don't know. You think about, and part of this whole thing was researching the best songs ever, right? Like, the top 500 songs of all time. And me and Hemingway went ahead he would sit and listen with me, and I would read like why they are what they are, because people have their own benchmarks for this, but I went off of Rolling Stone magazine because that's what I usually do, and I was just listening, and it's so much fun to just dwell and listen to this incredible music and the stories that we've told and the beautiful, beautiful things that we've recorded. And I think that AI in general, right? I think if you use it, there's like a couple options, right? Like for me, it's like a force multiplier. I don't use it for visual arts, except for like the single art for my music. I don't have enough time to where I would be able to write, like draw completely original works for each one of the songs. Since to me, it's kind of like the songs are generated. I don't have ownership of that. I would never say to someone that I did them. I would say I wrote them and I did produce them, in the sense that I made sure it was to the way to, like, just like Rick Rubin wouldn't stop until the song sounded good, sounded right. I did the same thing, but they are AI generated, both musically and vocally. In some cases, though, the end product is me. I just fully essentially record and perform these songs, and I use those recordings and okay. I use those recordings and performances to be the framework of the song. So there are some songs where it's literally my guitar and all this other stuff, but who cares? It's been a bunch of fun. Will I continue doing it? We'll find out. Like I said, I'm in a transitionary period of an artistic traditionary period. Right, buddy? It's nice to be back. So that's a big part of the creative stuff going on this year. I also have definitely still drawn and done all of my normal stuff. But in general, oh, you're a poopy boy. Music it's been so much fun to hear them. Like it's hard to explain the feeling of hearing for the first time what you've heard in your head all along. Like all the songs I've written and performed on my own and recorded and put online. Like I think they're great songs, but they weren't production wise the what I wanted them to be. And now, like hearing them, it's just like so touching and beautiful. So I don't agree that I think that there's AI slop out there for sure. And like I was saying about force multipliers, AI can be an incredible tool for someone who's truly creative. It will not be an incredible tool for someone who does not have any direction for the AI to go. So if you have no skill whatsoever, you have no creative bone in your body, and you just ask it to, hey, make a country song that I'll like, it will not do well. Same thing in writing or anything like that. Like AI it's just not there at this point. At this point, will it one day? Maybe, probably, absolutely. It will 100% be there. The amount of resources that are going into AI is bananas. I don't fully agree with the speed of adoption and all that stuff, but I can't do anything about it. Whoop. And that's fine. I kind of just live in that, which is why I can. My job is to see if current tools can amplify creative works. It's just, I've always said, it's also just another paintbrush. It's another thing for people to do. There are some like very incredible AI visual artists who have created AI visual aesthetics that no one else would have done. Is that possible through AI only? Yeah. But I mean, until this medium existed, people are like, oh, it wastes water. But like, it's just dumb. Like most people are just making a big deal because, whoa, big old noise outside. I don't know if you heard that, but I think it's just windy. But anyway, like I am not so dismissive. Like if you make, just like any artwork, if prior you made crappy music, right? You made bad music, or you made bad visual arts, or you're just not a great artist, AI will not make you a great artist. at all. Visual arts, like other, not videos, but like, you know, just graphics. I can immediately see when they're ChatGPT or AI generated, and that's fine. I don't like them, you know, because visual arts tells a story that's really reliant on the human doing it, right? So if you just generate it, the AI does not know what that is yet. Video is different because it's so much storytelling within the movement and where you place them and what the scene you set, and that takes skill and prompt engineering. AI music, same deal. If you're a good songwriter and you're good at putting together a song in general, how it sounds, the vibe, then AI will be a force multiplier. And it's the same thing for AI in general, in work and whatever. Like we have Mr. Hemingway right here, who's 10 months old, and how will AI be a part of his life? I've thought, how will AI change the education environment? I don't know, but it will change it, and that's crazy. It is crazy. So that's a little update. I hope this wasn't too boring hearing about me talking about, justifying my using AI. For music, I am a father and a husband. I have a full-time job. And when cool new fun toys come out, I definitely want to use those things. I'm going to be pivoting into creating another fully human album of instrumentals, which I do enjoy doing. So that'll be my next project, as well as other drawings and seeing Hemi. He's trying to choke himself on this cord. There you go. And that's fun. So it's here. AI is massive, as you all know. It's an incredible tool. Is it going to ultimately help us at all? Me and Amanda talk about, like, what does it actually do for humanity? We don't really know yet. It does take a lot of resources. It's causing a lot of global shortages of things. I don't know if it'll be a net positive or net negative, but I can tell you that it was very cathartic to listen to my songs the way they were in my head at full production. So, thanks, AI. I think that's it for this episode. Thank you for listening. Hemingway, do you want to say goodbye? You want to say goodbye? Say bye-bye. Say bye-bye. Say bye-bye. No? Okay. He doesn't want to say bye-bye. All right. Have a great day. And don't ever let, the communal opinion of things get in the way of you experimenting and finding out your own opinions. In the end, that's the message here. Everybody will always have an opinion, and usually that opinion is pretty dumb, unless, of course, it's like murder or something. Like, of course, murder is bad. And I'm not saying AI is completely good or bad, but it is fun to play with. Okay, bye. Hemi, move your hand. You want to press stop? Here, press this right there. All right, guys. Have a good one. Bye-bye.